Dear friends and fellows, how are you? I welcome you here on my training channel. My name is Abdul Khalid. Dear friends, look, we want to control the people around us, the people we are interacting with. Although it is not easy, it cannot be done properly. It is very difficult, and to be frank and straightforward, there is a very little benefit in it as well. It is impossibly difficult on the one hand, and there is a very little benefit of doing all that. My dear friends and fellows, I think that we shouldn't try to do it either. Rather, what is needed the most is one thing, and that one thing is that we should try to control ourselves. We should try to control our own mind, and by controlling our own mind, I believe that we can control other people as well. But although that is not an aim at all, not an aim at all, not an aim at all, but somehow we can control our own life by controlling our own mind. So, my dear friends and fellows, I think that we should try to control our own mind so that our life, as far our life is concerned, that could be brought into our own control. Today we have decided to talk about how to control our own mind. That is, there are certain things according to the psychological research. These certain things have been noted here, and we found that there are some 14 things which are much needed, very much beneficial, which are very much needed, which are very much beneficial as for controlling one's own mind is concerned. Because unless and until we do control our own mind, I think we cannot control our own life as well. Controlling our own life, that is the prime objective of, because unless and until we don't we do that, our life cannot become get better at all. Now let's look upon all of those 14 things one by one. First of all, it is practice mindfulness, meditation, and breathing exercises. So there are three things. Practice mindfulness. What is this mindfulness? It is a state of mind achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment while calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings, thoughts, and bodily sensations, used as a therapeutic technique. So, if in very short, we can say focusing on the present moment, trying to focus on the present moment, that is called the mindfulness. The meditation, people know it. Try to and then the breathing exercises. So these are the three things. That's the number one technique out of all those 14. Now the second is include positive affirmation in your self-talk rather than putting down. We are often seen putting ourselves down, self-flagellating, which is quite dangerous, which should not be, must not be done, because it is nothing less than the self-enmity. Rather, what we need to do here is that we must be dear friends and fellows. I think we must be adding, including the positive affirmation, every positive, constructive, which is beneficial, which can raise our morale, our courage. Whether we read it, we listened it, we conceived it, I think that should all be memorized. All of that should be corrected into our mind, remembered it, quite frequently, quite often. So those things are called the affirmation. Instead of putting ourselves down, instead of self-flagellating, it is extremely important that we do the positives, that we do, the positive affirmation. Include positive affirmations in your self-talk rather than putting down. The three is take a pause during your day to slow your mind down. Yes, we need to take pause from whatever we are doing, even our own thoughts, because even if at all we are not doing something else, but if at all it is our own thoughts are creating a kind of stress and burden, we need to take pause. There are certain ways. Now, the fourth is avoid things that trigger negative thoughts. We need to avoid all those things that trigger negative thoughts, like scrolling through social media, like any other thing, whatever such thing is which trigger our negative thought, we need to avoid that. Now, the fifth is ask self evaluating questions. If you are confused, or unsure how to think, ask self evaluating questions if you are confused or unsure how to think. Now, the sixth is develop better self awareness to identify patterns. Develop better self awareness to identify patterns that cause your unwanted thoughts like ruminating or bad attitudes. Develop better self awareness. We need to develop better self awareness to identify patterns that cause your unwanted thoughts like ruminating or bad attitudes. You know. Now, the seventh is work on challenging your inner critic. We need to challenge our inner critic as well, and changing your perspective on situations to be more positive. We need to challenge our inner critic. First of all, what will happen then? Our perspective will be changed on the and it should be made more positive. Our perspective on situation, changing our perspective on situation to be more positive. Now the eighth is make sure you rest your mind properly. Make sure you rest your mind properly after exercising or on a stressful day. Once it is a stressful day or we have done some exercise, I think we need to rest our mind. It is important. Now the ninth is ninth is journal down your thoughts to let them out and express your feeling. Journal down your thoughts to let them out and express your feeling. It is so important. Journal down, jot down. So your thoughts. Now the tenth is talk with a therapist. Talking with a therapist, life coach, our trusted friend, and a loved one for support. We need to talk to all of these people. First of all, our loved one, our trusted friend, our coach and mentor, and finally, a therapist if it is needed. If it is needed, we should talk to them so that they could provide us with the psychological support which is needed. Now, the 11th is learn that it's okay to acknowledge your thoughts. Learn that it's okay to acknowledge your thoughts, but let go of the ones that don't serve you. Okay, I acknowledge my thoughts, but at the same time, I need to retain whatever serves my purpose, whatever is needed, and then let go of what is not needed, what is counterproductive. I need to acknowledge my thoughts, but get rid of let it go whatever is counterproductive and retain whatever is needed and productive. And now it is the 12th is stop listening to negative pessimistic people and the advice they give you. Stop listening to negative people, stop listening to pessimistic people, and we must ignore the advice they give us. Now the 13 is practice positive visualization when you become overwhelmed with unwanted thoughts. Practice positive visualization when you become overwhelmed with the unwanted thought. Once we become, once practice visualization. Practice positive visualization when you become overwhelmed with unwanted thought. Whenever there are unwanted thoughts and we feel that I'm overwhelmed, at that time the positive visualization mean I am achieving this thing, I'm having this thing, I'm respected here. That is something what we want to be actually. So visualization, so that is very very useful. As for this visualization is concerned, we can include our previous videos, our previous acts which were done very nicely and we were appreciated and loved, respected a lot. So that is now the 12th and the 14th and the last is distract yourself. You know, distract yourself. Whether that's calling a friend, watching a show, or going for a walk. We need to distract from the stressful thought by going out for a walk, by calling a friend, by watching a show, or whatever way it is possible. We need to distract ourselves. So these are the 14 things which can help us a lot as for bringing our own mind into our own control is concerned, because that is something very very important. That is something very essential indeed. Thank you very much.